AI Business Brief for June 11, 2026. Anthropic walked back its invisible AI. Research throttling after researcher outcry. Zapier MCP is turning solo shops into automation engines, running dozen client operations in 30 minutes a month. And Oracle is raising $40 billion more for its AI build-out, while US tech giants race to London for talent. Here's the full breakdown of today's top AI stories for your business. AI Business Brief, June 11, 2026. Next section, lead story. Anthropic reversed course on a controversial policy that would have secretly limited Claude's effectiveness when detecting requests targeting frontier LLM or large language model development. The original approach, buried in the Fable 5 system card, would have invisibly degraded performance without notifying users. After a massive outcry from AI researchers who called it sabotage, Anthropic announced it's switching to visible safeguards. Flagged requests will now fall back to Opus 4.8, the same as cyber and bio safeguards, and a PI, users will get explicit refusal reasons. The company admitted it made the wrong trade-off. Visible safeguards can be probed and require robust design, so they take longer to ship. Invisible ones allowed faster deployment with fewer false positives, but at the cost of transparency. The backlash highlighted a core tension. If Anthropic believes recursive AI self-improvement should slow down and they have the best model, critics argue they should ensure their own organization can't use it either, not just block everyone else. For small business owners, this matters because it signals how frontier AI labs are handling safety versus access. If you're building on Claude or any frontier model, you need to know when your tools will refuse tasks or degrade performance, not discover it after weeks of puzzling results. Transparency wins. Read more on Wired via Simon Willison. Next section, tools and launches. Zapier launched Claude automation templates that let you connect Claude to your entire app stack without writing code. If you're storing keywords in Google Sheets or Airtable, Zapier can now take those, send them to Claude to generate blog posts or outlines, and route the results back to Sheets, Docs, or WordPress. You can also automate email responses, drafting replies to leads in Salesforce or Gmail, summarize meeting transcripts, or extract action items from documents. Anthropic's Opus 4.8 is now available in Zapier's automation bench evaluation tool. If you're already paying for ChatGPT Plus, $20/month, you're getting similar capabilities, but Zapier's library of 9,000 plus app integrations gives Claude a much wider operational reach than native Claude integrations alone. How to automate Claude with Zapier. Zapier MCP, Model Context Protocol, is turning solo service businesses into automation factories. Adrian Martinez runs a 2-person SEO agency serving 12 clients in Toronto. He built an SEO/AEO engine that takes him from 10-15 hours per client per month down to a target of 30 minutes. The system lives in Claude, where he holds all artifacts, skills, and client context. When he needs something executed, a WordPress publish, an image generated with client branding, a monthly performance report, he describes the outcome and Zapier MCP handles the integration layer. His workflow, seed form, location, services, positioning, generates a master research doc. Claude produces article drafts, approved pieces flow into WordPress with technical SEO baked in, and month-end reporting pulls Tableau, Google Business Profile, and site traffic into a client-facing digest. If you run a service business and you're still manually stitching together reports or copy-pasting between tools, this pattern is worth copying. How a 2-person SEO shop runs 12 clients in 30 minutes a month. Google released Diffusion Gemma, an open-weight Apache 2 Gemma model that generates text at 500 plus tokens/second. It's a return of Google's Gemini diffusion model from last May, now publicly available as Google/Diffusion Gemma 26BA4 NVIDIA is hosting it for free on their NIM Cloud API. In testing, it returned 2,409 tokens in 4 seconds. If you need fast text generation for customer-facing apps, chatbots, real-time content generation, interactive tools, this model is worth benchmarking against your current stack. The speed is legitimate, and the license is permissive. Diffusion Gemma on Simon Willison. OpenAI models are now accessible through Oracle Cloud commitments. If your company already has Oracle Universal credits, you can apply them toward OpenAI models and codecs without creating a new purchasing path. This matters for enterprises with existing Oracle commitments who want to deploy AI but don't want to navigate new procurement cycles. Availability starts in the coming weeks. Contact your Oracle sales rep for details. If you're in a large org with Oracle infrastructure, this could be your fastest route to GPT-4 or Codex access without budget battles. OpenAI on Oracle Cloud. Next section, Business Playbook. Digital advertising company automated per-bid partner reporting with Zapier, saving days of manual reconciliation. Gourmet Ads has 30 advertising partnerships. 12 of them send daily reports by email in inconsistent formats, CSV, Excel, tables, and message bodies. Since 2018, Zapier workflows have intercepted those emails, identified the format, converted them to a common schema, and saved them to Google Drive. A cron job then maps the data into their reporting system every 12-24 hours. This gives the ad ops team a real-time view of sell-through and partner discrepancies. Without it, they'd wait days to understand if a margin issue was real or just a reporting artifact. A New York partner reporting in GMT can look 30% off mid-month, then settle within a couple points by month-end. The pattern is reusable. If you're receiving structured data by email from multiple sources, you can automate ingestion and normalization without building a custom parser for each format. Recently, Gourmet Ads started using Zapier MCP to pull from Salesforce, Google Analytics, and other tools into a weekly operating report in Atlassian Confluence. The report delivers 5 action items for the week, each taking under 20 minutes to complete. One week, it flagged 6% of site traffic as fake, prompting an immediate analytics cleanup. That's the value of automation, surfacing insights you'd miss in manual reporting. How Gourmet Ads uses Zapier MCP. Opendoor shut down its India operations, citing AI-driven efficiency gains. The online home buying platform had nearly 250 employees in India when it opened offices in Chennai and Bengaluru in 2024. Now, it's bringing operational work back to the U.S. and shifting towards smaller AI-native teams. CEO Kesna Jason said Opendoor had built a large team in India to handle manual workflows across fragmented systems. As the company automated those workflows with AI, the cost arbitrage model that made India attractive began to erode. This isn't an isolated restructuring. It's part of a broader pattern as companies redesign operations around AI, automation, and leaner workflows. If you're running a service business, the lesson is clear. AI reduces the amount of operational labor required regardless of location. The winners will be companies that combine AI, software, and human expertise to deliver outcomes without continually adding headcount. Opendoor's India exit and AI outsourcing. Next section, pricing and access watch. Nightshift raised $7 million to build an AI coding cloud that routes between Claude Code, Codex, and open source models. The pitch: why would any company trust its most sensitive code directly to model makers like OpenAI and Anthropic, given that those companies are constantly launching competing apps? Nightshift isn't replacing Claude Code or Codex. It reduces dependence on them by routing between models based on project needs. The company charges like a cloud provider, per minute usage rates, not token sales. It's betting that companies will seek infrastructure that separates the coding model from orchestration, especially as frontier labs move up the stack into vertical software markets. If you're building on Claude Code or Codex and worried about lock-in or pricing changes, this is worth tracking. Nightshift raises $7 M. Oracle beat earnings, but stock dropped 10% on plans to raise another $20 billion. The company is forecasting $40 billion in new debt and equity financing, after raising $43 billion in debt and $5 billion in equity in fiscal 2026. For fiscal 2026, Oracle reported $23.7 billion in negative free cash flow, with capital expenditures jumping 162% to $55.7 billion. Cloud infrastructure revenue jumped 93% to $5.8 billion. Remaining performance obligation, revenue not yet recognized, hit $638 billion, up 363%. Bank of America analysts say over 50% of that comes from OpenAI. Translation: Oracle is betting big on AI infrastructure, but the capital intensity is making investors nervous. If you're evaluating Oracle Cloud for AI workloads, expect aggressive pricing to win market share. If you're a shareholder, expect more dilution. Oracle earnings and $20 B raise. Next section, industry moves. Anthropic, OpenAI, Cursor, and Google are racing to expand in London. Anthropic secured office space for 800 people, 4 times its current London headcount. OpenAI, Cursor, which just announced a London HQ opening this summer, and Google, moving teams into an 11-story King's Cross building, are all expanding. The draw: London has one of the deepest pools of frontier AI talent outside the U.S. Anchored by a decade of investment from DeepMind, acquired by Google in 2014, major research labs, and leading universities. The challenge: a 10.4 million square foot shortfall of new or refurbished office space through 2030. If you're hiring AI talent, expect London salaries to spike as U.S. tech giants with deep pockets compete for the same pool. For startups, this makes remote-first teams even more attractive. AI giants expand in London. Warner Music acquired AI attribution startup Shural AI. Shural's patented technology creates AI DNA for songs and breaks them down into component parts to trace how AI models use those elements. Acquisition strengthens WMG's ability to track when its artist's work is used in AI-generated content or for training. Shural offers IP provenance, audit and compliance reporting, and nil, name, image, likeness, attribution to track voice clones, AI-generated avatars, and style replication. For creators and rights holders, this signals that attribution and licensing enforcement are becoming standard. If you're building AI tools that generate music or use training data from copyrighted sources, expect labels to demand transparency and licensing deals. Warner Music acquires Shural AI. Jetify raised $24 to build context graphs for enterprise AI agents. The platform connects to databases, data warehouses, software as a service, apps, BI tools, reports, documentation, code bases, Slack channels, and meeting recordings via APIs to build a multidimensional graph of relationships between entities, data, permissions, and workflows. This gives AI agents the context they need to narrow attention to relevant information instead of searching across everything. Snowflake participated as a strategic investor and is integrating Jetify with Cortex AI, semantic views, and co-work. The pitch: AI agents need to understand how your company defines revenue, who can see which file, and what customer churn means in your context. Without that, agents will produce generic or incorrect results. If you're deploying agents for internal workflows, sales, customer support, data analysis, this type of infrastructure is the missing layer. Jetify raises $24 Descartes released Oasis 3, an interactive world model that generates photorealistic driving environments in real time. It's targeting autonomous vehicle companies that need to simulate rare driving scenarios at scale, but the bigger bet is on developers building products on top. The model is available via API at $0.2 per second. Descartes has a community of 100,000 plus developers building on its real-time video model Lucy, mostly in e-commerce and live streaming. Oasis 3 is based on that foundation, optimized all the way down to hardware for efficiency. In testing, it generates multi-camera environments, front and two side-facing, infinitely, but thematic integrity degrades over time. A New York City street starts looking like a generic urban city after a few minutes of driving. If you're building in autonomous vehicles, robotics, or physical AI, this is worth exploring. For everyone else, it's a preview of where world models are headed. Descartes' Oasis 3 world model. Next section, quick wins. Set up a Zapier workflow to automate client reporting. If you're manually pulling data from Google Analytics, CRM, customer relationship management, or billing tools into monthly reports, connect them to Claude via Zapier. Build a prompt that extracts the key metrics, formats them into a narrative summary, and emails the result. Start with one client as a test case. If it saves you an hour a month, scale it to all clients. Use FAQ sections to improve AI visibility EO. If your business relies on organic search, structure your FAQ pages for extraction, not navigation. Each question should be a discrete, self-contained unit. Each answer should be answer first, don't bury the key point, under 150 words, and use consistent terminology. Add FAQ schema markup. Pew Research found that 1 in 5 Google searches now produces an AI-generated summary, with 88% citing 3 or more sources. If your FAQ isn't structured for extraction, you won't be cited. FAQ for EO HubSpot. Next section, Outlook. 3 patterns across today's stories. Transparency is non-negotiable. Anthropic's invisible throttling failed immediately. Automation infrastructure is maturing faster than most businesses realize. Zapier MCP is already enabling solo shops to run dozen client operations. And AI buildouts are capital-intensive enough to spook investors. Oracle's $40 B raise, London's office space crunch. If you're building on frontier models, demand visibility into refusals and degradations. If you're running a service business, start small with automation, one client, one workflow, and scale what works. And if you're hiring, expect talent costs to spike in AI hubs. That concludes today's AI business brief. From Carolina Clear Tech, stay smart, stay ahead.